And that's exactly why the move to email, right? I mean, reps have had a challenge getting decision makers on the phone. It's gotten progressively more difficult since I was young as technology has come more into play. Companies don't have receptionists answering the phone full time. They have phone trees. That was the first layer of difficulty. To now you're trying to go through a phone tree as a rep, and then and then COVID hits, and now everybody goes home and they're all remote, or the whole process is different because they're not answering a live phone. Everything goes to voicemail. So the challenge has been that reps on the phone in the traditional model that we used to do in business to business to develop, to get leads, to go out, even just to schedule our own appointments for face-to-face sales and that kind of stuff. It just is so difficult these days. Now, when we ask the question is, should email marketing replace reps on the phone when it comes to, cold outreach, lead generation, and that kind of thing? So the answer is almost invariably yes, with some exceptions, right? So if you've got a business and you've got sales reps in a territory, they do a lot of face-to-face meetings, and they only have 1,000 prospects to get after, then yeah, I mean, they need to be calling on all 1,000 of those prospects and calling on them on the phone, getting scheduled appointments, walking in if they have to. And that's, you still got to do old school there. There's some more strategy that I would use to getting to those people, and how you might do a walk-in or boots on the ground kind of strategy. But that's really kind of it. Like everybody else, if you have any kind of wide net, whether it's local geographically or it's nationwide, you've got to use email first. Like I understand people are enamored with LinkedIn to a degree. It is somewhat effective. Some clients of mine I talk to have had some effectiveness with it, but it's very slow. You can only contact or communicate with so many people at a time, right? So it just doesn't have the power to generate inbound leads to fill a sales rep schedule. And that's what I ultimately want to do. I don't want reps cold calling from the United States that they're too expensive. I mean, even at the lowest rate of $40,000, which would be shocking to be able to get and keep somebody good on the phone for $40,000 a year, you're just not going to get ROI out of it in the short to midterm. I certainly don't want sales reps on the phone full time when we've got the capability of doing other things to drive inbound leads and have them on sales calls, right? Now, if you want to augment marketing with reps on the phone doing outbound from Latin America or Southeast Asia, where the cost factor is completely different, sure, that's fine. I've seen ROI come out of that. It's still not going to work as well as email is going to work from an ROI perspective. There's no chance. So, from an ideal scenario standpoint, I want something to drive inbound leads for those salespeople, right? So that their schedules are filled. And if the sales team structure or the process justifies a BDR, SDR kind of role to manage those inbound leads and facilitate getting people information, kind of just reviewing things on a basic level to then move them to a salesperson, then sure, I have no problem with that. I mean, ideally, I always want the sales rep to be dealing with the leads from scratch, right, from the start, if they can. But there are sometimes leads come in and too low of a percentage are budget qualified, or too low of a percentage are really a fit for what the business offers. So in that case, it's good to then have a BDR, SDR layer in there to then screen those people so that the reps are on calls, scheduled calls all day with people who are legitimate, buyers for what that company has. But in normal scenarios, I really want the reps dealing with nothing but inbound leads. I want them to deal with the leads directly, the salespeople, and moving them into their schedule. And then, of course, if they have to follow up on leads and or follow up, obviously, post-presentation, that's fine. I have no problem with that, right? And it's certainly account executive, account manager roles where they're going to have a relationship with the customer. I really would like them to have the initial contact with a lead. But prior to the individual being a lead, you cannot justify putting reps in the United States on the phone, especially salespeople who are making 75, 100,000 plus a year base to do prospecting. Again, the only exception to that being if there's, the sales rep has a territory, they have 800, 1,000 prospects, and that's all they've got, and that's all they can really, that's all they're going to be going after, then absolutely, they've got to go chase those people down and present, boots on the ground. They've got to call, they've got to do everything they can to get in front of that audience. But otherwise, I want marketing or advertising driving inbound leads, and I want to keep sales reps scheduled with sales calls all day, every day. And email marketing is the single most powerful marketing and lead generation medium for B2B that there is. Hands down, nothing touches it.